Saurabh, you're not audible, Saurabh. Okay. Basically, I worked with Honda basically. So it deals mainly with migration. We are migrating from VSAM to DB2 basically. So currently I'm working as a team member in the team. So we generally get requirements through Zira. We analyze the requirements and prepare pseudocode, and once that is approved, we'll start coding. Once that is done, we complete the testing. Once test detail development is approved, we'll move code to higher regions like UAT and model. Once we'll support to QA testers through model testing. Once that is done, the code is migrated to prod. So that is how we are working. Yes, basically. Yes, a little bit of CSCS. Mm-hmm. Basically, no, no, it is a development project. We are developing code with respect to DB2. To be frank, like previously, VSAM was the master and DB2 was the slave. So once VSAM got updated, it will update DB2 with respect to a file. Currently, we are developing programs to update DB2 first, and then we'll create a file with respect to file. VSAM will get updated. So VSAM has become a slave now. DB2 has become a master. Yes. So Oxeon is basically like non-numeric numeric operation on a non-numeric data. So when we not initializing data or performing numeric operations on non-numeric data, we will get the SOC 7. So either initialization should solve the problem. Sometimes if it is not solving the problem, we should find the statement with respect to offset address from sysout. Once we get the offset address, we should go to view listing. Once we go for view listing and give the offset address, we will find the statement which is causing the SOC 7. So that is how we rectify that. SOC 4 is basically like accessing beyond the perform loop boundaries. So whenever we go beyond the boundary, we'll get SOC 4. Same, we'll get the offset address. Once we get the offset address, we should go for view listing. In view listing, we can find the statement. We can do that with respect to internal reader. So include that only step in that. So we can run that. We can also give an if statement restart from fifth step, and the remaining step we can bypass with respect to a count parameter also. So there are three ways: if statement, count parameter, and an internal reader. Can you repeat that question? Sorry. Mhm.
The job fails at second step. I want to restart. So how can I restart?
So in step 2, we should give plus 0 and to refer that previous created, and plus 1 should be the new one.
Okay. And if I want to compare two files in JCL, how will you do?
3.13 we can compare, or we can give compare on the while opening file 1 and give compare, and in quotes give the file 2 name, even that
Via
also.
JCL?
Comparing two files via JCL, we can use join keys to find the matching records.
And if, uh, let's say, okay, fine. What is the difference between count equals to even and only?
Even is something like normal or abnormal termination also the current step will run. Odd is something where abnormal termination only the current step will run.
If, okay. And if in, let's say, uh, how would you pass data from JCL to Cobol?
We can pass data from JCL to COBOL through PALM parameter, input files, and sysindD star
Okay, system star, palm and file.
input files.
Yeah, and how will you accept it there?
Through linkage section, we'll accept when we are passing to PALM. Accept is used for sysindD star. Input file read.
Okay, fine. And in Cobol, what is the mandatory division?
Identification division.
Okay. And when do you use dynamic call and when do you use static call?
Dynamic call and static call. Basically, dynamic call is whenever we require a recompile. Uh, well, how do I say that? There are multiple programs. So if you want to like recompile every time, then we go for a static. If it is only the changed program need to recompile, we go for a dynamic call.
Okay. And what is null indicator?
Null indicator is something like when we get null values, we validate the null indicator whether it is having value or not, greater than 0 or not. If it is greater than 0, it is having normal value. If it is less than 0, we say that it is having null values.
Hmm. And is it mandatory to have null indicator?
It's not mandatory to have null indicator. We can code minus 305 also with respect to that. But if we want to handle something with respect to null values, then we code that.
And what are different cursors?
Different cursors. Open cursor, close cursor, you mean, or what do?
Life cycle of the file data. Life
With
cycle of
respect to life cycle, we had declare cursor, open cursor, fetch cursor, and close cursor.
okay. And if you don't close it,
If we don't close it, the resource will not be freed. If you are like using that again, we'll get error with respect to cursor is not closed.
hmm, okay. Fine. And What is cursor with the hold?
Withhold option is something like whenever there is a commit, the cursor will get closed. So in order to prevent that, we code withhold option.
Okay. And how do you, what is DB2 pre-compilation step? Whole DB2 pre-compilation?
Pre-compilation step is something where a COBOL statement and DB2 statement get separated. So DB2 statement will be passed to one flow, and COBOL statements will be flown to other flow. So these syntax-free SQL statements are stored in DBRM, which is fed to bind package to generate a plan, which will the plan sorry package. The package will be fed to bind plan, where the in bind plan where it uses the optimizer to fetch correct access path or more optimized access path. The once optimized access path is fed, that is stored in the plan. And with respect to DB2, this is the process, and compared to COBOL, we will get object code. Once object code is generated, the load model will be generated. With respect to timestamp on both COBOL and DB2, it will be merged again and to form a load model.
Okay. What is -9, -811?
Singleton select, basically where select is getting multiple rows from the table. So we should either change the select to cursor, or where condition should be modified.
Okay. And in COBOL, if we wish to, let's say, in if you are, let's say, updating some records, okay, then how would you find how many records are updated through SQL CA field in school?
With respect to SQL, ERRD1 will get the number of records which got updated or inserted.
Okay. SQL ERRD3, not one.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Fine. And how would you run COBOL DB2 program?
How do you run means basically we use Endeavor tool. So we add the modules to Endeavor only. But with respect to JCL coding, we will give IKJFT01, and in 60.sin we will give DSN system program plan and lib. So all these things we will give there. So that is how we run that.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Done from my side. Do you have any questions? From which location are you currently?
Currently, I'm in my hometown only, but basically my project is with respect to Mumbai location.
Okay, which company?
Pardon, I'm working for TCS for a Honda client.
Okay. TGS contact link. Right, right. Okay, and would you be able to relocate to Mumbai?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Apart from that, any other question?
So, what type of project is this? My roles and responsibilities, something like that.
Well, it's an insurance domain project,
Mm-hmm.
insurance and banking domain. So we do have multiple opportunities. So not sure which particular team you will be tackling,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a support and a development project. So you have to do development also plus support also,
Okay.
both. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Have a nice day.